Hi guys, I've got a bit of a, not tutorial, but just the way I do things personally. And I'm going to show you today, I've done this picture, I'll turn it this way so you can see it properly. I've done this picture and a lot of people I know get stuck when it comes to veils, see-through clothing or anything like that. Um, what I have noticed as well, colouring lots of portraits, I have noticed that the skin looks, I always start off with the skin and it looks fine when I do the skin, but once you add the hair and everything else, the skin then looks rather pale, and on camera it looks even paler. So I have started trying to do the skin darker than I would normally do it, because once you've got the hair and everything on, it then doesn't, it tones it down. So this is what I'm going to try and show you. She's got a little sort of veil over her face. You can see her nose and her lips through it. So I'm going to try and just show you how I do see through things. And this technique I use, it works for everything. You can use it for sleeves on a dress, or the bottom of a dress, or anything really that you know think should be translucent. So that's what I'm going to try and show you today. Now I've got this one, I have to have it this way because I can't see what I'm doing otherwise. I've already done the skin apart from underneath the veil. So let's have a go. These are all the pencils that I use. These are my Polys, my trusted Polys. These are all the pencils that I use for skin, and I use all of these, and that's what I've used on her skin. Now for the veil, I've already given it a very light coat of light flesh, so she's already got that on under the veil. The next colour I use is Red Violet, which is a dark sort of purpley colour, and that's what I use for the darkest patches. Now I've done, you know, what you do with these is you use the same colours as what you would if you were doing the rest of her skin. So you use the same colours, but you go really lightly. So when it comes to it, the outcome looks as if it's lighter because it's behind the veil. So you don't want to do it as dark as the rest of the skin, because you won't then have any leeway to colour the actual veil itself. So I've already done a bit of that one. Right, so the next one that I use, this is how I just do it by order, I work from the outside in, Indian Red. So I'm going to just go really lightly, like where the shadows and that are. I'm going to go really lightly on all of these bits and these sort of shadowed here. So you just do it just barely touching the paper, and that's just enough. So you just barely touch the paper on all of these bits like this, because there are a lot of layers, a lot of pencils and a lot of different layers. It does pay to go lightly, because if you do go too dark, it's just going to come out the same as the rest of the face, and you know, it just won't work. So anything like, I mean, it doesn't even have to be skin behind it. Sometimes you could have a sleeve, or you could have a dress, for instance, and the bottom of the dress might come out, for instance, and behind the dress you might be able to see some flowers, or some grass, or anything really behind things. So the things behind, you want to always colour a lot lighter than the rest, you know, of the things that you are doing, which are the same things. Next one I use is Pompane Red. So we'll do a little bit just over where it's dark and just coming out a little bit further than what it actually is. So barely touching the paper, just sort of hold it, just hold it really, really lightly and just very gently touch the paper. If you can do that, I know it's not always easy, but if you hold it further back, you can't really go heavy. So if you hold the pencil at the end, then you will end up going a lot lighter. So I'm just basically showing you what I've learned, and I know I have seen people in streams and that say they're not sure how to approach things like this. So I forgot to do a neck, didn't I? It's okay. I'm just going with this one because it's gonna go over with the colour of the veil. I mean, on mine I did a green veil, but I mean you can do it any colour you want. I have got some lines on this which are my printer, which is being a pain at the moment, but we'll just ignore them, pretend they're not there, colour over them. They won't show too much. See, that's hair, this is neck, but you just need to do it a bit, just a little bit out, like this. And then the next one I use is Venetian Red, and exactly the same with that, barely touching the paper and just coming out a tiny bit, like so. Just go a little bit further than you went before. So we'll do this, a little bit up there, and a little bit there, so we're just going slightly out compared to where we went, before. And that's what I do on the actual skin. I start dark and then I go in and in and in. I'm just going slightly out a little bit further each time. So now we can start to sort of bring that in. We've got a bit there. We can bring that bit out. That bit. And the bits on the neck. These are actually veil creases. Some of this is her neck, which this is her neck, and some of the others are creases in the veil, but we'll tackle them when we get to that part. So that's going out a little bit more, just take it out a bit like that. And slightly come up, and we'll just go around the chin and there, and go a little bit on the face, like so, because it's got to be sort of the same colour but not not as dark as that one is. Right, the next one I use is Terracotta, and exactly the same again, just go in just a little bit. If everyone's wondering why I've not been wearing my wrist splints, it's because I've been told not to, because I normally wear them all the time, but seeing the hospital this week I've been told not to wear them unless I really my wrists are in so much pain that I need them for support, so which is great for me because now it's warmer, so hot to wear, and when it's hot anyway, so yeah, I'm pleased about that. But but I mean I still wear them. I still wear elasticated bandages and all sorts of things, you know, when my hands are really, really bad. So that's why I've not been wearing them, which I'm really pleased about, because, you know, they're not uncomfortable to wear. You do get used to them, but it is a bit of a pain, especially when it's warm as well. So that's great, because they said that my hands were sort of very swelled up when I went to the hospital, and they said it wasn't good, you know, to put something tight around the swelling, so, because I do wear them quite tight, and they said it's best not to unless, you know, I absolutely dying to need to wear them. Right, the next one I use is medium flesh, and that again, go over, I can start sort of going over a lot of the face now, and the nose and all the features now underneath the veil. Get that under there. So nice. We'll start to bring all the colours out. I don't usually colour on this table, and it is a little way away from me, where it's normally like right in front of me. It's stretching a bit, but that's okay. I don't mind. So there we go with the dark flesh. I never understand these in polys, because the medium flesh always seems darker than the dark flesh, which is really weird. And next I use the dark flesh, which is the last pencil I use, last colour I use, should I say. I sort of go over, still going lightly, but I go over the whole lot, and the neck as well. I forgot that bit, but it don't matter, it's just for demonstration purposes anyway, so it doesn't matter. Right, so we've got the neck done. And the face is done. Now if you want, if it's a little bit patchy sometimes, I will go back over with the light flesh again sometimes, so you could you know, go over like that if you wanted to, just to sort of blend it all in together. A little bit more pressure than before, but not much. Right, that's that done. As you can see, her skin underneath the veil is lighter than her other skin, which is what we want. Now I'm going to do this skin red, and I've got all my red pencils out anyway, because I was just doing a red on another picture. Oh, hang on. What we'll do is I'm going to just do the which one's which? Medium flesh. Let's just do the lips. So I'm going to just lightly sort of, with the medium flesh, I'm going to lightly just do her lips. Don't want too much colour on these, really. Just go around the outside, leave a bit there for a highlight, and then the same on the bottom. You do this lightly, and you can leave a spot where there's a highlight. Then you can go over with the which one is this, the dark flesh, leaving the spot again for the highlight, and very gently do this, of course, because you don't want it to look like lipstick or whatever. I mean, you can do lipstick, but again, do it really, really lightly, because it's under the veil, and things under the veil will look lighter. and again leave the highlight spots. So that's that done. And because I had all the reds out anyway, I thought I would do red veil this time. So with my lightest one, which is Pale Geranium Lake, I'm just going to go really, really gently over the whole lot. Just really gently, hardly touching the paper, and go over the whole lot of the veil. So anywhere where there's veil, just very lightly go over this, all over her face, and underneath her lips, over her lips. You can do some slightly over her lips, but just very, very lightly. Like I said, if you hold it at the back, you know, you can't go heavy if you hold it at the back. So very, very gently over the whole lot. Her nose, and then this side. I mean, I did mine green because she looks like she's going out hunting or something, so I did mine green. But I mean, and this one I'm doing red, but you can do any colour you want. Pink, purple, green, blue. It really doesn't matter, because you get the same effect with any colour. So that's the whole lot. So that's that bit. And I'm going to get my darkest one, which is my dark red, and I'm going to just go not too hard into where the creases are. So sort of creases of the veil, which are these bits here. They're not like creases in their skin, they're actually creases of the veil. We can use a dark colour. So whichever colour you're using doesn't really matter. Just get your darkest one of what you're using. And there's a little bit that goes up there, and a little bit that goes up there, like so. And then these bits here are just sort of creases as well, sort of. Gently go over your darkest bits of the veil, just so it looks like it's a proper crease and it's darker than the rest of the veil itself. And in her hair as well, everywhere. Obviously you'd colour her hair before, you know, so you can see it behind the veil. Right, now we'll go back to our palest one again, and we'll just a little bit more pressure, just a little bit more pressure than what we did before, not a lot. I do usually move my page around so I can get to the right angle. Just slightly more than what we did before. You probably won't notice so much with red as what it would with another colour, because red, you know, she could have pink skin, sort of, for instance. She could have sort of pale red skin, but I mean, you get the gist of what I'm trying to say, or what I'm trying to show you. You don't want it too dark, but you want to be able to see the colour of it, and her skin underneath, but you don't want it too dark, because obviously it will then look like she's got, you know, pink skin or red skin, which she hasn't. Is the veil that's actually red, but you need to be able to sort of see the skin colour underneath. You're doing now. I'm not doing this, you know, properly. I'm not doing this carefully or whatever. When you do yours, obviously you do it more carefully than what I'm doing mine. This is just a basic, you know, just to show you what I'm doing. I don't want my battery on my camera to run out or anything else, so I'm trying to show you pretty quickly here of what I do. Right, so you would do yours more carefully than what I am, and obviously stand back, take a look. You know, I think, do I need it any darker? Do I need it, you know, you obviously can't go lighter. Once it's there, so it's best to go really, really light, and then you can stand back and look and say, do I need this any darker? Or, and if you do, just go really, really lightly over it. I'm just going to have to turn this a bit. Again, just go really lightly over it until you're happy with it, basically. Until you're happy with the colour of it. And you can see, that that's a veil, and you can sort of see a skin underneath, and you can tell the difference between the two. Right, I probably could go a bit darker with this, but my camera's battery is not looking too good, so I'm going to leave it there. But that's, you get the gist of it, and you just go really lightly, and you just keep going and going until you're happy with it, really. You know, do a layer, stand back, think, do I need it any darker? And you need to see a skin underneath as well, don't forget. But so that's sort of what we've come up with. I hope you can see the difference. You know, there is some sunlight on here coming through my window. I don't know if that's glaring it out or anything, but you get the gist of what I'm trying to say. Probably red wasn't a good colour to choose, but it's because I had red out, because I'm doing red on another picture. But there you go. If you want, you can go back in with your dark colour, and just do these folds, creases and folds in there. Go back in and do them. Make them darker, just so you can sort of see that is a fold in a veil, and not in her face sort of thing. Obviously around the edges you can do a little bit darker as well, just so it stands out from her skin. So there you go, guys, that's basically how I do it. And like I said, you can use this technique on anything. You could use it on like veils like this, dresses, sleeves of a dress, anything like that is really good to do. And you can sort of, hope you can see that, the difference between the two. I know there is sun coming in, I don't know whether it's, I've got my light lamp on as well. I don't know if that's better with the sun or without the sun. Probably without, actually. Try and cover it up. But I hope you can just about see the difference between the two. But that's how you do a see-through veil or sleeve or whatever you're doing. That's how you do it, and you can probably see better on the one I did on the green one. You can see that her skin is underneath the green, and her, you know, skin is paler underneath there, and her lips are paler, but you can still see the green of the veil, so you can see what colour her veil is. But that's basically how I do it. You can see the skin on this one is darker than this one, this was only a quick job, so it wasn't, you know, a proper job. I just did that to show you the difference between the dark skin that you put on first and then the light skin that you do underneath the veil. That's the only reason. But that's how it is when it turns out, and I hope that helps you, and I'll see you next time, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.